Now, I will be including the recipe on a recipe card somewheres in the video. This way you can sit there and pause it and write down my family's Christmas cookie recipe. But let's start with a cast of characters. We have our sugar, we have our salt, we have our eggs, we have our cake flour, we have our baking soda, we have our vanilla, we have our shortening, and we have our milk. That's all that's needed. Oh, and did I tell you? This is going to give you anywhere from 14 to 16 dozen cookies. Now, I'm going to cut this recipe down because it's a little too large for my KitchenAid mixer to take all on. So I've always cut it down in half. So with that being said, we're going to sit there. We're going to cream the shortening, the sugar, baking soda, salt, and vanilla. Let's add that sugar. Let's add the shortening. Add the baking soda. Add your vanilla. Add our salt. So let's put our mixer back down, lock it into place, and now let's just cream this mixture all up. Let's add the eggs. Let's turn the mixer on and cream well. And while I'm creaming it, I will stop it and I will scrape down the sides. Okay, I'm going to lift it and we're just going to wipe it all down for the final time and continue on with adding the rest of our ingredients. Now, let's go ahead, add the milk. Again, we're going to lower our mixer. We're going to turn it on and we're going to cream the milk into the creamed mixture and we're going to cream it well. Let's add our flour. Now, this is one of the most important parts of the recipe. Do not overmix. Lower your mixer, lock it into place, and work on the low speed. Now remember, do not overmix. You just want to mix till everything's incorporated. Look at that. Now the reason why you don't overmix it is it will make your cookies real tough. So I'm going to set this half of the recipe aside and I'm going to make the other half. Alright, we have all of our cookie dough mixed up. Now I'm going to sit there and put both this and this into this, and we're just gonna slightly mix it. Remember, don't overmix. There's the full batch. We mixed up both halves lightly. Now I'm just gonna take some of this dough, we're gonna put it in a bowl. That way I can color it, because I'm going to sit there and show you one of the recipes that we use, my grandpa's and my mother's Christmas cookie recipe. But I brought it into the new century. So I'm going to show you what we do. I put some of the dough into the bowl here. Now, I'm going to grab one of my Wilton icing colors, and right now I'm planning on using this mold of Christmas trees. So, of course, I'm going to need some green cookie dough. Now, I'm going to get the green out of the icing colors. I'm going to grab one of my toothpicks. Now, I have this much in my bowl, but I'm planning on using half of it for the Christmas trees, and the other half I'm gonna make Grinch Christmas cookies. Well, I'm gonna be needing to make some red, but green goes around the red. And that's right, if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm going to sit there and show you just how easy it is to do slice and bake Christmas cookies. Now, I'm going to sit there and use my less dominant hand when I am mixing these up. And I'm just going to slip my hand into a Ziploc baggie. That way, all that green food coloring doesn't get onto my hands. So I'm just gonna sit there and just mix it all up. And I just barely had enough green food coloring to color what dough I did put into this bowl. Now I went ahead, I divided the dough up because I need some of the green to wrap around my red hearts, and I need some to do my Christmas trees with. We're gonna put it right inside of our mold, press it down, grab more, and I'm gonna finish out pressing all these in. Oh, that didn't catch. And just keep pressing them in. I pressed out the green cookie dough inside of the Christmas cookie mold. Now I have some leftover green cookie dough, which I need because we're gonna wrap the green cookie dough that's left over around these red hearts for Grinch cookies. But in the meantime, I'm gonna sit there and take this off to the fridge so it hardens up. I put the unused green cookie dough in a Ziploc baggie. Off to the fridge that goes as well. Well, hey there, good looking. Let's go ahead and let's make a half batch of the royal icing. Now, I use the meringue powder, and I need 1 tablespoon of that. Now, I'm going to turn my mixer on after I put down the mixing paddle into the bowl, lock it into place, and we're just gonna sit there and mix up that meringue powder with the powdered sugar. Now, what I have in this bowl here is 1/8 teaspoon of almond extract and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm going to add that to 3 tablespoons of water. So let's go ahead and add the extracts to the water. Now let's add the vanilla extract, the almond extract, and the 3 tablespoons of water to the 2 1/4 cups of powdered sugar. We're going to lower the mixing paddle back into place, lock it into place, and go ahead and just stir it until it all incorporates with one another. Oh yeah, that's looking really nice. Now let this just keep mixing. It may take up to about 3 minutes. And that was just about right. Colorings that you want your frosting to be. Now's the time to mix in the coloring. Now, if you want your royal icing to be a little bit thinner, go ahead. Add just a tad bit of water, a little bit at a time, until you get the consistency or the flow of your royal icing that you want. Also, I'm going to grab my template. I'm going to sit there, place it down. I'm going to tape it onto my counter along with some wax paper over the top, and we're going to get to making my little candy dots. Okay, I quick decided I'm going to change up the game plan just a little bit. Before I thin out my thickened up royal icing, I'm going to take some of the thickened royal icing and I'm going to start assembling the Candyland house. I brought my platter over here. I brought a container so it will help hold up the house until the royal icing is all set. So I'm just gonna sit there and take the front piece and I'm gonna run a good layer of the royal icing. Okay, I have some royal icing added to both sides. I hope this is all gonna catch, but we're just gonna now just place it against the little container that I had down on the platter. Now I'm gonna grab one of the sections of the rooftop. We're gonna add it. I'm gonna get the back section of the house and put more royal icing on that, and then we're gonna grab the other section of the roof and we're gonna adhere that. Okay, we have the other back section of our house. I'm gonna go ahead and add it to our Candyland house. Okay, let's grab that other section of the roof and place that all on. Now, allow this to dry. And here you go. We have our Candyland house that we made from my grandpa's cookie recipe. I showed you how we can make tube sugar cookies. I also showed you how we could use some silicone molds and make your own shaped tube cookies. Or you could sit there and simply portion control it, and then I like to sit there and cut each one of these hearts right in half, and you get 2 hearts from one. And last, I showed you how we can make the Grinch cookies with the red hearts right in the middle of the green sugar cookie. So I have my oven preheating at 350 degrees. I'm gonna sit there and slice some of these up so I can show you them when they're all done. The sugar cookie back here, I'm not gonna go into decorating it because there's so many different ways. You can just go with a plain tube sugar cookie. Now, if you liked what you saw here today, please give me a big old thumbs up. If you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, go up, hit that subscribe button, tap that little bell. That way you always be notified every time I do put out a new video. And as always, here's to seasons eatings, y'all. Enjoy. Happy holidays.